By the way, if you're a housing addict, definitely check out the manservants you can get in housing because they do lots of cheap things. And actually, while I'm online, I'll show you. I will show you a neat little trick actually that's making its way around the housing communities. You need a wooden loft, and you need a stage panel. I think it's called stage panel. These are the two things you need. Thank you for coming to stream. I'm glad you learnt something from it because I really love like talking about GPOs and things. So if no one has any more questions, I'm just gonna show one little housing trick. So this trick is, so if you've noticed in the game you cannot put things. So if I put a loft up here, I can't put it up there. Well, actually I can put that one up there because it's a tabletop item. Things like things that go on the floor like sofas and beds you can't put on lofts, which seems really counterintuitive, right? So what you can do, I actually have a sofa on me right now. I can't put it up there, right? But sometimes it's nice to utilize to put it up there. Oh, if you have any illustration or art. Oh, I do have some art. I will show after this. I'm just gonna do this housing trick real quick. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the sofa in the air. You need to put down the stage panel. Right, and then you're gonna move it. So you want your furnishing where you're gonna want it when it's in the air, okay? And then use this wooden loft. And then you're gonna put it down and hit escape real quick. And what it's done is the sofa has now clipped onto the loft, right? So you put the loft back into your inventory. It has to go into your inventory. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna keep inching up and up. That didn't work, so I didn't hear escape. And you keep doing it until you hit a level that you want it at. And the final thing to do, once you're happy with where it is, you just need to rotate it to lock it in place. Otherwise, the next time you come into your house, it will be back on the floor. And that is how people do all the split level housing stuff. Now I've got a random sofa in the air, but because they don't have the Z axis, like, why would they not put that in? Why would they put in lofts and then not let you put stuff on the loft? So this is how you work around it. I'll show you my private housing where I've used it, because you can do it with so many things. And you can also do, if you put down a partition and like a little shelf, you could put little lamps on it, because lamps can sit on shelves, right? And then I'll show that glitch as well. Yep, you can still sit on things. Yeah, I'll just show you. I've done this on my personal housing. So in my personal housing, I've got my lower level. I've got a little jazz club, right? That I host monthly events at. And then I have this upper level. You can go on it. I've glitched it. You can use it. It's fully functional. Anything you put up there is completely functional, but you just have to do the really long workaround to get it up there. So what else you can do as well, for smaller items, if you don't want to go through that whole loft glitch, if you just want to, like, what people do, they have like these floating lamps, like, so it's like magical, like Hogwarts kind of thing, and it's so cute. You just get a partition, any partition will do. You need a shelf. Any shelf will do. I have a Riviera wall shelf. So the important thing is, you see these 2 buttons at the bottom? So you've got these 4 buttons. One is to move objects, one is to rotate them, one is to put them back in your inventory, and one is to store them, right? And then you have these 2 smaller ones, and this top one is to toggle counter surface placement, which basically means you can place it on items like tables and things, right? If you turn it off, it won't connect to the surface, right? So you need that on. This other button is just a grid snap, so you can have it without a grid or with a grid. It depends how OCD you are. If you're like me, you'll put grid on everything. So if you want it to float in midair, what you do is you turn off surface placement, you press the item, right? Now it's come off. Don't press it anywhere, just press escape. Okay, we've just pressed escape, but it's gone back to where it was. And now if I move the shelf, it's floating in the air. If you accidentally come out of it, like I just did, you need to do it again. So you make sure this is off, you press it, you press escape. And then you can move the shelf to your inventory. No! Okay, you have to move the shelf. Okay, you move the shelf. I don't know, there, I guess. You can put them back. And now it's floating in the air. That's how you do smaller objects. And people use like lanterns, and they have them like throughout their house. You can see with my lighting up there, I attached it to a wall. I did the same method. I pinged it off, removed the wall, and now they're floating in the air when they shouldn't be. And now I've got a random sake set in the air.